Hello everyone, it is Sippy Cup, and I've got a new game to show you guys today. This game is called Dungeonmans. It is a roguelike being developed by a guy named Jim Shepard, who formerly worked for companies like BioWare and Gearbox. So this is an indie game, but it's got a pedigree hailing from some sort of AAA development titles. Anyway, let's dive into it and I'll show you what it's all about. So for the most part, this game, I would say if I had to compare it to something else, I would say it's most like Dungeons of Dreadmore in the sense of being both a roguelike and being kind of tongue-in-cheek and silly. So let's see, I'm going to found a new academy so I can create a new character. So we'll just go with the default name for now. So here you're founding a school for teaching adventurers. Dungeonmans is what this game calls them. So once you found your school, you'll be able to create a character. So we'll call my character Sippy Cup. Actually, let's make it Sippy Chalice to keep with the fantasy theme. Here, I've got to choose my starting stats. So instead of doing the dice roll, you have you just have to select from some options here. I don't know what this does. Let's see what this does. Oh, I see. That just lets you quit. Okay, so I think I'm going to be a fighter man to begin with, which is kind of the warrior archetype. So we'll go with high strength. Strength, not strength, but strength. And then I will choose fighter mans. And then you get to choose some perks. So usually I grab Southern Born. It gives me a bonus to maximum health, which is quite nice for a fighter. And some of these other ones, there's Scrounger, which will give me more coins, increased damage at low health, bonus to mana and stamina recovery. I think I'll probably take this one. The Warrior actually has some pretty nice abilities that they can do with stamina, so we'll go with that. So you start out at your Dungeonmans Academy, and here is I guess he's the headmaster. So he says, do you want to hear some advice? Sure. First danger lies to the east and south. The farther you go, the darker and more cunning your foes become, etc., etc. The dread Purplonians are the greatest threat. Got it, okay. Quests, I love quests. Hooray. Okay, so I've already done a couple of tries and died, and you actually get a monument over here. Since this is a new school, there's not statues erected to honor my heroes who have already fallen, but you can interact with some of these NPCs. What's pretty slick about this game, let's see, what does this guy say? Isn't that right? Sir, yes sir, sure. What's pretty cool is that there are items that you can find, feats of strength, which are kind of like tokens that you would get in exchange for killing hard monsters. And then you get books and things like that you can basically come here and improve your school. I've already done it a couple times. I've already made a couple of improvements from my previous school, but not for this one yet. So let's just get out and start fighting some stuff. I mean, as far as the implementation of the roguelike aspects, I'd say, you know, I'm trying to be harsh, but it's pretty bog standard. I mean, there's not too many big departures from the formula. So here I can see an enemy, I can bring up my powers by pressing S, and then I've got 2. And these are conditional upon what type of weapon I have equipped. So if I were to equip a two-hander, I would have a different set of skills, and I can invest points when I level up into different skills. So I'll just use Shield Rush and then rush the goblin. That should stun him for a round. Or he's addled for 2 rounds. Will let me get some hits off. So here I just picked up a book, Fish, Barrels, and You. So I can either consume this to get a point in archery, or I can take it back to the academy to improve my academy in some way. So just break some barrels, get some scrolls. There's some slimes in the ground here. So here I can show you another one of my abilities, which is High Guard. You can only do this when you have a shield equipped. Basically, it gives you a powerful block bonus for a few rounds, and if you block during this time, you get free counterattacks. So that's quite nice when you're surrounded. So of those. We'll go ahead and charge this guy. Keep thinking these things are arrows, but they're really just decorative spears. The IKEA's new line. So I'm just going to keep going through here. I believe this starter dungeon has about 3 levels. Oh, so I should have said before, this is just sort of a demo. I'm not sure how far you can go in the demo. I've done a few dungeons and, you know, I don't feel like they've given any of the early content. I think that you could probably do something like 4 or 5 dungeons. Currently there is a green light up on Steam for this game, which you should vote for because it's quite fun. There's also a Kickstarter, I believe. I'm not 100% sure if it is still active at the moment, but if it is, that might be another way to support the developer if you were so inclined. I know that I already went and voted for it on green light. I'm not sure that I would be willing to invest in it just yet, but I would certainly pay some money for it when it's already out. Let's see. So let's take a look at the inventory real quick. So you basically, this is a little funky personally. You actually have an item inventory and an equip inventory, which is a little weird that there's 2 separate hotkeys for that. I guess it does sort of help to stay organized. Here you can see I've got some scrolls. As usual with the roguelike formula, you have to read the scroll before you find out what it does. So this one is a scroll of Eat Curse. Let's go back and just... Usually I just... Oh, let's see, this is... oh, I have to use this on an item, so I'll use it on my knife. Now it is a... Oops. Now it became a burning yesterday's knife plus 1. So now it does an additional 1d3 fire damage, and in addition to the 1d4 plus 1 damage, it does standard. So that's cool. Alright, so let's look at the rest of my stuff here. I have 2 potions. Let's use these. One of them is a Lesser Champion's potion. And then my prismatic potion is a Flickering Mana Tincture. Use my guard. Disregard monsters, acquire loot. So, I mean, in terms of graphics, you know, I guess I can't dock any points to that. It's a roguelike, and roguelikes aren't typically known for being very pretty. It's certainly got character. It's got character in spades. All those upvotes. Alright. So, now that I've leveled up, I can show you how to allocate your mastery points. So the mastery points are invested into these different categories here. So there's Adventure 101. This is sort of basic stuff that's applicable really to any of the archetypes. I could put a point into this and be able to equip heavy armor. I could put a point in to be able to equip large shields. There's Advanced Crushology. This gives me the ability to equip 2-handed weapons and gives me a Press the Attack ability, which looks like a short-range charge. Basic archery. So in Fightermans, let's see, Wreck Armor, high damage attack that also lowers armor dodge values. So as far as Fightermans go, I've noticed that they tend to take a bit of damage, so I think that rather than invest in offense, I'm going to invest in defense first. So I'm going to put points into heavy armor. I haven't even gotten any heavy armor yet, but once I get some... Oh, actually I should put some of this stuff. This leather... skirt. Don't judge. And I apologize for my dog barking in the background. So you can actually look around to get some detail. Let's see, I think it's T. This will tell you details about targets and things like that. So that is a dungeon crab rat, and it should have only 1 HP left. Pretty standard controls. As far as number of hotkeys, it's pretty limited. It's just a short list, which is one thing that I like about some of these newer roguelikes, is that they don't have just an absurd number of hotkeys to remember. And then of course having something of a graphical user interface where you can just, you know, press enter to quaff a potion is pretty nice too. What is this? Stamina draft. Okay. So I think we explored most of this floor, so we can advance to the next. So many barrels to smash. Delightful. Scrobbled Shaman. Okay. Ah, Gladiator Skirt +1. Looks like it could be good. Let's take a peek. Yes. So the armor has two stats. It has armor and dodge. So as you might expect, the heavier armor has more armor but less dodge, and the light armor is the other way around. So really it's up to you how you want to specialize, but for a fighter, I think that it makes sense to invest in armor rather than dodge, so that you are not the victim of RNG, that random number generator. Take your fate into your own hands, I would say. So we'll just keep exploring a bit here. I think there's only one more floor in this dungeon if I remember correctly. Usually I just drink all these things the moment I find them, so that the next time I find them I know what they are. Scroll. I think this is probably a scroll identify. Give me a guess. It is. Right. Oh. I can see that it seems like I'm getting this armor icon that happens when I get hit with an arrow that says plink. So I'm assuming that they are doing less. Whoa. Oh, right. I used a scroll of escape dungeon. And that will actually make me disappear from the dungeon after a little while. It's quite a bit like the recall orb from Tales of Magiel in that respect. Okay, down to the next floor again. And let's pick up where we left off. That's a lot of guys. Shield charge. And use my high guard. Too easy. What's really cool is that if you get killed by a monster down here, there's some text that will pop up and it will basically say that that previously unknown monster became the ruler of the dungeon as a result of having killed you. And the next time you encounter them, you know, they'll say something like, "Oh, I already killed so-and-so. What makes you think you're a match for me?" Things like that. It's pretty funny. It's kind of cool. A little touch that adds character to the game world. And it kind of makes sense, you know, if there's a huge burly guy running through the dungeon, killing all of your friends, and you manage to take him down, of course you're going to be exalted, right? All the other scrobbolds will look up to you and shout, "Save us," and you'll whisper, "No." So many delicious coins in the barrels. I think I'm almost done exploring this floor, and then we can go on to the final floor. There actually is a map, it's just a little weird looking. You can scroll around here. So there's a downstairs to the southwest. So the other game that I've been playing lately is Dragon's Crown on PS3, which is not a roguelike, it's more like Golden Axe. I wish I could stream or record that. There's been a bit of controversy about that game with regards to the character designs, which admittedly are sort of pushing the boundaries on good taste, but the game itself is quite fun. It's actually pretty hard too, which is refreshing in this day and age when games are slowed down for the most part. Oh, I have no stamina now, that's not good. Let's see. Do I have Champion's Potion? Can I... Oh, I don't have enough stamina to charge. No, I can. Hold still while I'm killing you, if you would mind. Oh, there's the boss. Well, now let's see. Okay, so before I fight this guy, so Fighterman's. I'll get. So, yeah, you basically have skills divided into Legendary Armsman, which is a two-hander fighter, and then you have Sword and Board, which is the one-handed shield fighter. So Wreck Armor might be good. Makes a high damage attack, also lowers armor dodge values of target. Let's get that. So what I'm gonna do is, whoa. Alright, let's rush in. Well, that has a high stand cost. So this guy, Nug Fip Shamelake, is the boss of this dungeon. Have anything else I can use? Okay, I've got a healing potion, so that's good. Don't I have a scroll of laughable projectiles? I do, that's good. Eat curse, I don't need that. Okay, so now let's just get some damage on him. Can't use my... So I can just ignore projectiles, which is good. Let's shield rush this guy again. He's only got 31 hit points left. Should be able to take him down. I took him down. He dropped lots of loot. So I got a proof of strength. So this seems to be another one-handed weapon here. Tin Steel Slammer. The flavor text on a lot of these items is pretty funny too, if you look at them. Okay, Tin Steel Slammer. Yep, tin steel, now with up to 44% actual metal. The plated fields are wrong. Let's use that. This is 1d6, whereas mine is 1d4 plus 1 plus 1d3. I think the average damage on that knife is going to be better. I'm no mathematician, but I think the knife is better. I think having messed around a bit with Sword and Board versus versus two-hander, I think that I slightly prefer the one-hander and shield, actually. Whoa. Just because of the extra survivability it gives you. And the two-handers hit, 2x as hard on average, but you also die a lot faster. And in roguelikes, if you die, you have to start all over again. Although, so that's one cool thing I was saying about being able to upgrade your school, is that there is a bit of persistence in the sense of next time around you'll have certain facilities open to you. Like, in my previous school I was able to upgrade the alchemy lab, and what that means is that if I go to my school, any of my potions up to a certain level will be automatically identified. So that's pretty slick. And I think that there's other things like that as well that will benefit you from game to game. within, as long as you make your character with the same school. So let's see. I already beat the boss down here, but I figured I would just do a bit more exploring before I continue on. Here, so this should be one of those big shields. Yeah, I can't use it yet. It's a large shield. So maybe next time I level up I can use this. I can allocate a point into this. You see it's got quite a bit more block. 20 versus the 10, double the block that my current shield has. I just got another one. I haven't used red armor yet. Try it. Between this and some of the more hardcore roguelikes, I think I actually like these types of humorous roguelikes a little better. Like Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup I think is great, Tome is great, Brogue and things like that are great, but I think it's kind of fun. Oh, this is the boss. Interesting. So I didn't kill the boss yet. Oh, there. He's up there. Whoa, charge me. Alright, let's throw up high guard. Whoa. Oh, that's a lot of guys. Shit. Guess I want to make sure that I kill these annoying magic guys quickly. I do have heal potions, so if I need them, which I probably will, let's take a look at his health. This is Scropwap the Mud. Let's go ahead and use Lesser Healing Potion. Actually heal over time. How much has he got now? 13. He's so dead. Another great victory for the Academy and all Dungeonmans. I got an annotated defibrillator. Proof of strength. It's funny, you can tell what the game developer thinks about elves by these items. Prance Elf Limpcaster was once able to cast Melf's Flaccid Arrow, but even that power has fled this unfortunate vessel. So basically what he's saying is, all elves are sissies. I can get behind that sentiment. Actually, it's kind of a notable omission in this game is the ability to choose a race. You're assumed to be a human, thus the Dungeonmans. And as far as I know, there's no way to change your race yet, or I don't even know whether it's a planned feature or not. Okay, I think actually there should be a portal somewhere. Usually when you kill the real boss of the dungeon, there should be a portal not far from where you encountered him. I think that was up here somewhere. If I remember correctly. Aha, metal shield, nice. Oops. Okay, that's a better shield. Did I get a cloak? Is that shoulder armor? It is. Okay, that's cool. These are all two-handed swords. Oh, one-handed sword. 1d6 plus 1. Unidentified. I don't think I actually have any scrolls of identify left. Laughable projectiles. Whoa. Oh yeah. Voltaram's boot barter. So what this scroll does is it sacrifices your boots in exchange for loot. It's kind of a weird thing. Why does it look like this hammer is stuck on the wall? That's weird. I think it is. I think that's the item that I got in exchange for my boots as well. Let's try this. Back armor. Boom. Alright, now I can get the heavy shields. Sweet. Okay, so now oh, I have a magical one too. I don't know what it does. I guess we'll see. It could be cursed for all I know. Actually, one quick way to find out. Do I have any eat curse scrolls? I do. So nothing was cursed. Alright. Back to the overworld. I can go to the academy. I can show you what happens when you turn in the goodies that you find. So, okay, let's go talk to this guy, the headmaster. I want to give you some books for the library. Yes, please take them. I'm basically a Tomb Raider, ha ha ha. Okay, and then I gotta give him my relics. Proof of strength, an undeniable mark of prowess and tenacity. The battlemaster will be so proud. A vintage defibrillator you've got there, and my word, it's annotated. I have no idea what that means. The alchemy lab will delight in this. Thank you so much. Let's put those to use right now. Great, yes. Okay, so he said something about upgrading the alchemy lab to level 1, so that's neat. And then I think this chest fills with stuff that I can take once I bring in proofs of strength. Yeah, it looks like I got a bunch of scrolls of identify, so I can use some of these now. So what is a shield? It's an antiseptic town guard shield. What does that mean? Oh, I take 20% less poison damage. Okay, that's cool. Alright, what about using some more scrolls on other stuff? I wish I could just identify everything at once. I do not care about sturdy flippy floppies. Bonus to block. Sounds good. Oh, this is a magical one-hand sword. I should probably identify that. Oh, there's two of them. Okay. Where did my scrolls go? Oh, there. Alright. One hand. That is a chill copper longsword. So chill, bro. Bruh. Oh, this is a chill copper long. Wow. So much chill. Let's see. Okay. 1d3 cold damage. Oh, it's unquestionably better than the 1d6. Or 1d4, I mean. And then let's see. This one is 1d6. Yeah, same thing, basically. Okay. So we've got a better weapon now. So really I'm just missing rings. And as far as I know, there's actually no vendors in town. There are vendors in dungeons, though. Anyway, coming up on a 30-minute mark, so I'm going to call this one done for now, and then I will continue with part 2 of Dungeonmans, the movie, or whatever. Until next time.